Oh. Okay. Ooh. All right, let's get started. So today we are going to be doing a new system in my game. It should be fun. It has to do with the skill system the Atlas has. I'll be kind of covering as I go, but essentially we did have at some a system in our game that was essentially a upgrade for the skills, but we're not doing that anymore. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be updating that system. So instead of having a skill that the character has and then upgrade that skill, we're going to have abilities on that skill that the character can pick between them. So before we had like 3 levels of each skill, but now we're going to have like one main skill and then different abilities that we can pick between them. Let's see where to start with first. So I guess the first thing that we gotta figure out how to do is, let me place a skill in here first so I can remember how to do that. Other one? Yeah. I'm just gonna place a collectible in here. Strange. Why does that look? I'm gonna. Oh, there you go. That's why. I'm just gonna place this where the camera is gonna be. Actually, see what's going on. Where is my collectible? So again, this is gonna be a very. It's gonna be a different system than what we had before. So there are some modifications that we're gonna have to do to make it work, but also I'm not like, I like this, but we'll see how it's gonna go. Let me see if that will work though. It's been a while. I don't have my controller with me, which is sad. And my thingy is playing like the where is it? I mean, on it. YouTube. All the bit rate. No idea how to output. Oh, there you go. Streaming. They're recommending that. Put that in. Also, it'd be a good idea for me to see if YouTube's. Oh, cool. So let's see. Let's see if we can collect the skill. Looks like we can. Good. Oh, there's no UI. That's bad. Okay. Gotta fix that. Where's? Did I just disable it? Okay. Oh yeah. Working. Cool. I don't understand why we have this UI cut off. Where's the UI? Should work. Let's test it again. Okay, yeah, so the first thing is just make sure that we can collect the skill. And then I think what I'm gonna do is first create the system to so that we can pick between different abilities within that skill. And then I'm gonna do the interactions in the sanctuary so we can pick the skill that we want. And then lastly, I'm gonna do the system where we actually purchase the abilities. So if that's gonna work. I don't understand why we don't have UI. UI should be. Oh yeah, okay, that might be it. So where is it? Because the UI is behind the thing. Ah, I don't fully understand what happened, but that's fine. Cool. So yeah, the UI doesn't matter for now. All we care about at this point is the us being able to pick up the skill. So I've got a skill. So this is the Ares skill. So the god Ares from Greek mythology. So at this stage, we're gonna have two abilities. One that is the shield, which allows Atlas to. That's cool. So one is the shield, which allows Atlas to hold down and then defend or block attacks, I should say. It also allows Atlas to throw the shield to deal damage and do other cool stuff with it. I also need something just as a test so I can reset my energy. I guess I can put a checkpoint, right? Checkpoint. And then the other one is the other skill is a sword that the character has. And then we can attack with this. Never know which one. I think it's this one. Could probably call it something else. Fine. So put a checkpoint and a Q pickup in here, just so it's easier to test. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. On the UI, change this to this just for now. I don't fully understand what's going on. But okay, just on this test, seeing this happening, so not a massive deal. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so we pick up the skill. We have the checkpoint just in case we need to reset energy. And then the first thing we're going to do is split the skill into multiple abilities. So at the moment we only have 2 abilities per skill. But I'm going to create a system where it allows us to have multiple. I'm going to put that in here, otherwise you might hear on the mic. Where we might have multiple abilities. Pick up my skill again. Should be able to just go. It works. I can throw it. Then if I need to reset my energy, I can just reset here. Cool. So yeah, setup is done. Let's and then ideally those 2 little things in here would be the pickups or the purchase items. Let's say for the abilities. So let's work on that. Cool. And then I might have enemy in there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is on the system that we have updated so that we use the abilities. So let's go to the character first. Character prefab. By the way, I have no idea where my character is. Character back. Position. is my thing? Why is my what happened? But there we go. So let's put the character over here. I'm gonna hide the minimap indicator. You can see the character. Cool. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is configure the game objects, because the way the skill system works is that we have the objects set up in here. Controllers, we have the skills, and then we have each skill being in. So I think the first thing that I'm gonna do is just have the core skill in here, and then have multiple abilities. So I'm just gonna call this ability shield. Just gonna call it that, and then another object here called ability sword. Let's do that. Cool. So ability shield, ability sword. Now we're gonna have to break down the actual code, because we have both in. Oh, no. Where is it? Huh. Interesting. I don't know where they are. Like, I think I should have it somewhere where it says. By the way, I'm gonna move my face here, just so I can see the game art here than the console. Yeah, so let's open up the ability. It should be skill, not special. As we go along. Okay, let's open that up in Visual Studio. And what I would like to do now is kind of having a system where we have the skill, which allows the characters to use the skill, and then have the abilities underneath it. So maybe a list of abilities, but that has to work for every skill. Let's see how that's gonna go. Where is the window? Nothing like what I wanted to open up, but close our tabs. Ooh, okay. So we have base special abilities. So we might be better off changing this, to be honest. So we get the orb data, or get the skill data. Why? Yeah, it at the beginning of the development everything was related to orbs. So I'm gonna rename this because this is gonna start getting really confusing if I keep using orbs. I'm gonna say this is gonna be skills. We have skills somewhere else. We have zones, skins, gifts, checkpoints, quests, and enemies, rooms, items. Doesn't look like we have skills, so that's gonna be skills. And then this is gonna be get skill data. Okay. if we have anything else. Orb data, yeah. Let's rename everything. Because before the thing was we are creating orbs that each one has its own ability and things that it does. But as we start to grow, we had realized that orbs are not gonna do it, and the game is growing as well, and we have some really exciting stuff as well at a later date that I'm gonna definitely showcase. But orbs are no longer like a main thing anymore. It's gonna be skill type. There are a lot of things that might break with this, but I'd rather do that now so I know how to, I know that I can figure out later. Well, special ability. Okay, cool. No one, two. So this is gonna be. I can keep that at. Honestly, it should be just aim type. No reason why we should. Then it's gonna be skill upgrade data. I'm still gonna do that one. I'm gonna keep that one in. I don't know if we're gonna use it, but I'm gonna keep that one in. Okay, so we have basic skill data. Let's see if we have anything else related to orbs. So we need to get off here. Doesn't look like it. Game database. So we have skills, stats. Then I have the character stats. I think this one we're not using anymore. I'll have to double check. We're using those types of stats now. Better, works a lot easier to work with. Items, rooms, enemies, NPCs. All those things are fine. That's good. I'm wondering now if I should have a list of abilities underneath the skill. So, for instance, if I go back here, errors? No. Good. So the renaming wasn't a massive problem. But data-wise, data set. I go to types, objects. Let's rename that to skills. Break a few. Fine. Go back. Okay. So let the project compile. So I think if I create a skill attribute, or no, sorry, skill ability, and then I might be able to just plug that in, and then having that as a scriptable object, and then because then I can plug it in into my prefabs if I want to. So I want to show that specific data from the scriptable object, and also I can have a list on my skill that ties to that. So okay, let's create that first. So the first thing I'm gonna do is create a roster. and I'm gonna say skill ability data, or should I say ability data? I'm gonna say skill ability data. And also I need some form of yeah, I need some form of upgrading, or at least knowing which abilities are active on my save profile. But I'll leave that to a later point, because one of the things that I have to do as well is update my save system, which I think I'm gonna do next week. This week I'm gonna focus on this and some other bugs that we have, and have some really cool art updates as well. So let's see. Not up. Hey, cool. So I don't know what happened. Before I had like a template on my scripts, because I did this stupid thing at the top. It's not necessary, but I like to keep my scripts organized. After all, I spent a lot of time on those files, so but it doesn't matter. So this is gonna be a script object. I'm just gonna copy okay, so we have a few things to work out here. Let me open the skill data. Because here's the thing, my initial idea was having the, so for example, I would have something here called skill abilities, right? So with that, the idea would be to have my list of abilities in here. Problem then is, the only way to access those abilities from a database standpoint is by retrieving the skill that I want, and then picking the correct ability. Fine, but you know, that's the one way to do it. So we don't have references everywhere. I think I'm gonna do that. Let me just see if that is better than, here's my database. Yeah, I think that's better, because then I can only have, I can have my skills here, which is fine. And then each skill has its own abilities within that object. That object is going to have its own abilities, so I don't have to deal with multiple data objects. Okay, let's do that then. So I'm gonna, am I doing headers? I'm doing title. Title. Abilities, and then this is just a, I think I'm gonna do public. This is just a list of skill abilities that this skill has. List of abilities that the skill has. So what do I need here? Fix that real quick. And boom. Okay, cool. All right. This is skill ability data. ability data. Okay, so what do we need in here? So we are going to need the required items to unlock it. So I guess I can create a class for that. Ability requirements, because basically the player is gonna purchase this ability, right? So it would be something like the item that you want and the amount of items, and then how many of those items. So it's gonna be a list of an item and then a amount. I think that's it. How am I doing items? I think if I'm doing items with scriptable objects, which is what I think I'm doing, I might just put in the scriptable object, because I like it having that way, because I can actually see the thing. If I had more time to work on this game and maybe a little bit better budget, I would probably create like a little editor for that. We're just testing this for now. I don't have a lot of, rather focus on what I can do now. Okay, so let's see, how are we dealing with the items in the game? Down here, I'm gonna rename this here. And some of the skills that we had before, we are going to remove, I think. Maybe one of them. They're evaluating that, so we'll see how that's gonna go. Skill. I don't know if I showed. I don't think I've ever showed this on my channel, but like we have a lot of skills. I think I showed this somewhere else, but we have a lot of skills that are in the game, but I haven't ever showed. Like the haze skills is really cool. We can summon enemies to fight for you, which is, I think, kind of fun. But anyways, okay, so this skill would have a list of abilities somewhere. Oh, abilities, there you go. Okay, so orbs, so these would be skills. I'm gonna ignore for run proof now, and then we would have the, I guess you would call it, I guess I can just call it abilities. Did I create a folder for that? Let's see. Let's create a new here. Would be here. Okay, game LUMI, then data. Ability. Okay, so these would be, for example, skill Aries, sword. Yeah, if I keep it like that, then it should be. I don't know why it's just taking a lot of time to just delete the folder, but that's fine. Might be my computer though. Cool. Okay, so we have sword, and then we have another one. I'm just gonna duplicate that one. Not the entire folder. oops, sword, and then we have the shield. We might have more, but for now that's what we need. Let me delete that before we get. Cool. Okay, and then we go to the areas skill, and then we do add them here. There we go. That's super cool. Yeah, that's exactly what I need. So I can see the abilities in here. And then we have the core settings, which is usage. Yeah, this usage, I might change how this works. Activation type is actually gonna have to move to the ability. That's something that we have to do. Let me do that now. I'm not gonna do that now because that's gonna generate errors. So I'm gonna do that in a little bit, but we do have to change. Okay, so let me write now which settings we're gonna have to change. So activation type. Also, usage is something that we're gonna have to change, right? I feel like almost everything. What is this? I feel like almost everything is gonna have to move to. The only thing is, if I do start changing that, I'm gonna break a lot of things. I still need that. I still need the sprites. Yeah, we still have the sprites for the upgrades, which I might still have it. I probably will consider the upgrades being as how many of the abilities you unlocked. But anyways, colors, we still need upgrade. What we use that for? Upgrade saves. I apologize, guys. A little bit tired, but keep moving. Upgrade data. Where do we use this? Oh, just for the upgrade panel, you don't even consider it. So I think that's one of the things that are gonna go, because that's not gonna happen. At least not for now. Prefab display is what we need, and skill tree. Okay, so skill tree was the old system. Let me see. That's definitely gonna generate our. Okay. Oh my god. Very sleepy. Okay. It's actually a good thing that I getting rid of this old system, because I didn't really like the skill system. Like the idea of the previous skill system was just to copy something from games like Ratchet and other games, just to have something that you would maybe help the player care about collecting more items and stuff. I never really enjoyed that system because it's basically like designing a bunch of not really good upgrades just for the sake of having the system. But now that we have like a system that I actually think it's gonna work and it's meaningful as well, I think it's gonna be better. What else did I say? I think it was the upgrade tree. Why did I call it skill tree? Okay, yeah, we're not gonna use that now. And usage instructions. Yes. Oh, actually, the usage instructions we might move to that one. We might move to the ability. Okay, so usage instructions, we're gonna move to here. Prefab display. Oh, we're actually gonna need this prefab display on the other one as well. Abilities, we're gonna need this ability panel as well. What else do we? Color settings is fine. Prefabs. Okay, so let's go back to our ability. So localization is the first thing. Then we need the upgrade info or the purchase info. Let's call it purchase info. So we need, I'm gonna say SKU ability purchase info. And we need a public. Do you know what? I'm gonna do this directly. So to public key data there, being a game item and an integer. So it's gonna be purchase. And let's test how that would work. How that's gonna. I think it would be good. Oh shoot, I have a lot of errors now. Display arc, yeah, so this is not gonna show anymore. Also, we did need to update this at some point. Like, I think the usage instructions that we had, very bad. For the skills, mind you. Mainly because it's just a video that shows at the bottom of the screen, like at the bottom right, I think, of the screen, and like people missed it all the time. And I don't think it was a good system at all. So now I think of doing something more interactive, like having a tutorial that the player actually does something in the game. So the sanctuary is actually one of those things that we're gonna do that will allow us to do that. So the idea of the sanctuary is like you pick the thing, but then like ideally as soon as you unlock one of the abilities, you would have like a challenge for that ability. So you can test it and see how it actually works. But because you're gonna purchase it, right? Nobody purchases something just pressing the buttons, unless you're playing like a mobile game. But if you're playing like a Metroidvania, you're gonna see the requirements for the items. That's me assuming things, right? But I might be wrong. You're gonna see the requirements, and you're gonna kind of at least run your eyes through the description to kind of see what it does. You might not actually read it, but you might just see, oh, okay, so that's gonna allow us to, I don't know, use a sword. Or I think with that, then it would be a good or sorry, not a good, but a better. Oh Jesus Christ, I'm sleepy today. Would be a better system, especially for teaching players how to use the skills. And we want to make it fun, right? We don't want it to be like a boring game where you just have to do this. Okay, purchase info. Yeah, that's what I was gonna test. Okie dokie. So, I lost my. Right. So, okay, yeah, that will work. Cool. Place in here all the purchase requirements. Unlock. Place here. value is the item. I'm putting a little message just so I remember what it is. And then, oh, I don't want that name. So user instructions. These localization things, I would love to go back to the system that I created and doing something more robust. I just don't know if it's worth. I don't think it's worth my time right now, because. But that being said, if that works for this game, it's gonna work for every other game that I'm gonna in the not so distant future. And by the way, I do have some plans for smaller games. So place in here all the purchase requirements to unlock this values. Okay. Oh, but it's not a list. Okay, so that's what I did wrong. So it has to be a list because we need more than one, right? Oh, hang on. List. There you go. Oh God, what is going on here? Why is Visual Studio such a mess sometimes? List. Let me have another one here. Key data. That's probably why it wasn't working because I think Visual Studio sometimes try to place things with what you have available for you. Obviously, it does that, but I would think that something as generic as the list, or as that we use so frequently as the list, would be a basic import for. It's fine, not completely. Okay, so that makes more sense for me. Why is it not working? Okay, purchase. No possible values to select. I don't know what's going on. Why is it not allowed? There you go. Why is it being so weird? Okay, you know what? It's fine. I'm not gonna bother. Okay, so the first one we're gonna need 2 items. It's another one of those things. Like if I had the time, I would probably make it better for me to add it, but not something that. Anyways, where are my items? So we need essence. I'm gonna need. No, no. Let's do 10, and then let's do a blueprint for arrays. Let's do that in 1. So we need 1 blueprint and then 10. You have ID. Oh, we have ID. Okay, so That's interesting. Because if we do have ID, which makes sense. Does it though? Actually, let me think. Do we need to have ID on that? Because if I do have ID, then it's kind of its own data set, and ideally I should have a different table just for that. I don't think it needs an ID because it's part of the skill data. The only reason I'm doing separate is just because it's easier to edit, honestly. Yeah, and it works like that. So I'm not gonna do ID. I'm gonna do a default. This case, I don't think it's necessary to do ID. Okay, right. We're gonna have more data in here. We're gonna need it. But yep. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's start breaking down the actual ability, and then we obviously gonna have the opportunity to have base special. Oh, we have the orb throwing thing in here. Though not all of them are orbs. Side point. So we do have base special ability, which should really be skill. I don't know why I call it. Oh, because the skill was the upgrade tree. For whatever reason, I call it skill tree, which is not really skill tree. Upgrade. Should I rename it? I think if I'm gonna rename it, I should do it now. Because I don't really think we're gonna go away from the system that we're creating right now. We might do some tweaks to make it better, but we've been developing this game for 3 years now. We're running towards the end, I think. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it again after that. And by the way, not that those systems are bad, they're just something that we saw improvement that we could do. Okay, let me think. I'm gonna call this skill upgrade, and then instead of having a skill, we're gonna have a skill upgrade. Because I think I started doing this the other way around. We had the skill tree first, then the skill, and now we have the skill ability, which is the special abilities. Why did you keep loading things? It wasn't doing that before. Okay. So. Um. Cool. So skill upgrade tree. Okay, so we're gonna have to. I'm gonna open all those files. Then I'm gonna rename them. And hopefully with that, I'm gonna have everything properly named. So first it's the skill class, so it's gonna be skill upgrade. this is going to be skill upgrade link. This is for the UI, right? Oh god. This should be skill upgrade. Y 2 3. This is gonna skill upgrade 3. It makes a lot more sense. And it's not gonna be orbs anymore. It's just gonna be orb. Skill upgrade. Good. And we have skill upgrade 3 extensions. Skill upgrade 3. That one might be problematic because it's someone a behavior that it's in the UI. I'm not too bothered, as I said before. Like, we have a new system that is gonna take place, and I'm gonna redo the entire UI because we have a new design, we have new systems and new things in the UI that are much better than the stuff that we have at the moment. So obviously we are going to let me just double check something. Do we have audio? Maybe. Well, that is the case. Always the case. Let's see. Oh, my audio is kind of. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay. I think that's gonna work. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have updated all the files in here. And the next step is to have it working on the objects as well. Okay, cool. Sorry, just double checking things. Cool. Right. So we have the skills in here. The skill data. Oh, where is it? The special ability. So special ability. I'm gonna rename that folder to skills, and then we're gonna have a folder inside of each skill called ability, or yeah, abilities. I think it's fine. I think it's fine if you have abilities underneath it. Okay. That's cool. Right. Just okay. So in here, I'm placing all the skills. And okay, so let's use Aris first because that's the one I picked to be my main thing. So this is gonna be skill Aris. It's gonna be a base skill. Should call it base skill behavior, to be honest. It makes a lot more sense. Just want to make sure that I have no errors. Jesus Christ, why are you yelling at remove system sounds? I'm renaming a lot of things in this string. That wasn't the plan at all, but we're modifying a significant chunk of the code, so I don't want it to be confusing. And I'd rather spend this extra hour that I'm doing renaming things and organizing, so that next time I update it, I know what it is rather than being lost on things. So okay, so no errors, which is fine. So I'm gonna do one final change here. It's gonna be base skill behavior. Then we have skill arrays. Cool. Then we're gonna have a skill ability, whatever that will be. So okay. So let's do skill ability arrays shield. Let's do another one called skill ability arrays work. Okay. I'm not sure about those two. I'll figure out the organization, but okay. So we have the shield and then the sword. So the way I think I want to do this is having it selected in the main skill, and then every time I press a button, I call a method on the ability behavior. That said, I should probably have another script here called base skill ability behavior, so that I can transfer a lot of the functionality that's going to be pretty much the same to all the abilities really. So open those three files. Okay, let's get started on that. So okay, so this is going to be a LUMI behavior. Not sure what's going to be in there yet, but figure that out. And those two are going to be abilities. And then what I'm going to have on the... Oh, I don't have the ability here. So let me open the base skill behavior. So on the base skill behavior, I'm going to have a list of the abilities. And I think I would have some sort of initialization method that would try to map the stuff that is in the database with the stuff that is set up in the object, and then maybe I give it an error. Ideally this validation would be in the editor, not at runtime, but let's just do that for now. Okay, so what do we need? Call it SQ thing. So it's gonna be SQ ability. I think you can do just a simple list, right? That should work. These rabbit throwing settings, I might change it. Okay, cool. I have a little bit more time, so hopefully I can get that updated. Cool. Okie dokie. So what are we doing? Yeah, so for now I'm just gonna drag and drop this. So this is the shield and this is the sword. And then in here I'm gonna link those two. Shield and then sword. We do have the events right underneath it, which is fine, but almost queue activated. We actually might have more events. on skill ability switched. This is gonna be the skill ability that we have. So base skill ability behavior. Oops, ability behavior. That's an event that we're gonna have to. And the other ones are just reference to the actual skills, which I'm gonna move into those new scripts as well. But cool. So orb through settings probably gonna go away. I'm gonna see how exactly I'm gonna do that. A lot of kind of code related work. I thought we would be testing a little bit more, but it's fine. I had to work on the functionality first. It's a good thing to do that. Okay, so special ability management, which should just be called SKU management. Get data, SKU data. Okay. Getters and setters. Cool. Properties. SKU type. No behaviors. Init. Yeah, we have an init method. So setup methods. Okay, so in here, ideally we validate the so we get the data, and then we ideally I'm gonna put here like validate skill abilities. So the first thing that I've got to do is I guess I can just loop through. Problem is that there is no way to know which one I'm talking about, right? So unless I have a field in here, unless I have something like, which not ideal, but yeah. As I have something like that, then I don't know if it's worthwhile. Um, yeah, not sure, but trying to think here. Yeah, because the configuration would have to be okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'll do that. There's no point on trying to overcomplicate things. Also, just like sometimes it is what it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Skew data. Okay, so we have the data here. Cool. Then we do for each. Okay, so how do we check that? I guess because it's just a basic validation, I can just do a counter here. And it's gonna be the count of the abilities. And then I do if. Ability. What do I want here? So I want that ability that I have to see if it matches one of the abilities that I have on the list. So I'm gonna call it var test. I'm gonna have abilities. But fine. Might not be the most optimal way to do this, but if I find it, then I decrease the counter. Then if my counter is still greater than 0, because it should be 0, right? If we start at 2, it's going to be 1 and 0, yeah. So if it's greater than 0, then I'm just going to do a log error for now. Setup on the skill, then I can put in the type, is incorrect. The reason I want to do this the reason I want to do this validation is because now that I have something that is a little bit more specific, I don't want to have a game where it's gonna throw an error if the player doesn't purchase something or something like that. So okay, so that's the basic validation for the setup, and then now we're gonna have to do the other stuff. So that's cool. Word handlers. I'll do ability skill, ability methods. Switch skill ability. I mean, comparing the data object might not be the smartest thing to do. Anyways, let's get that working first. Different than no, we're gonna, I guess we can have a selected ability, I guess. Okay. Yeah, we do change the ability. Now we do need to call the method here. Or sorry, the event. We're gonna invoke the event with the ability that we just selected. Okay, so we have a basic method to switch abilities. The purchase of the ability is gonna happen somewhere else. So this is just reactive to something else. Okay, let's see what else do we have. So we have timer method, have orb handle. So yeah, that's gonna change. Let me some message here. update this just so I don't forget. Or method, usage method. Activate, yeah, so that's precisely what I would like to have happening on the ability side of things. So ideally these would happen on the ability, not the skill. But you know what? I rather have the input control on things rather than having this activate that doesn't mean much. So here's what I'll do. I'll do the exact thing as I have it in here in the ability. So properties, that's fine. Then we do the inputs. So input, not gonna have anything in here, just gonna have empty methods. Then on the skill behavior, what we will do is we're gonna do a switch, or not a switch, sorry, we're gonna have if selected ability is null, it's gonna go return because we're not gonna do anything. Cool. With that, I can now do the following. So m selected ability dot on input down Still not sure if that's the best way to do this, but this is what I'm going with. So it's basically transferring the stuff that was happening on the skill itself to the ability, and the skill is just like a container for all of the abilities that we have. I could just reuse the skills and just have like multiple skills, but some of them being abilities, but I thought that would be confusing. Let's deal with this because I think it's better. This here, I do have to change it. Yeah, there's a lot to do in here. In regards to this, but I'm not gonna touch it now because it's not worth the time. Update this. Cool. Timer methods. I could also have a reference. Don't know if that's gonna be a good thing. I could also have a reference to the parent skill. So protected skill or base skill behavior parent skill. And then in this case we would need a just need a setter, honestly. We're not gonna access it. So protected, or sorry, public void okay, that's it. Yeah, just thought of that because that might be useful. We can then update the validation, and then if it's can still do our counter. What we can also do is ability, or that should be ability really. Search, let's do search. Search is a better term. like something like that. Okay. Cool. Switch skill ability. So that's how we switch between them. And then we are transferring the responsibility of the inputs to the abilities themselves. Okay, so this is all good. This is all working ideally. We do have to update those two things, but they're kind of annoying to deal with, so I'm not going to do that for now. This is not timer methods, it's helper methods. Skill ability methods, cool. Do we have a property for the selected ability? No, I'm going to have that in here. So public virtual skill. Oops. Selected ability. Selected skill ability. So yeah, so we have access to this selected ability, and then yeah. Then let's see SQRs. What do we have here? So we have shield references. So the shield references can go directly to the shield class, right? Oops. Shield, shield, shield. Yeah, so this is all shield. Or we have sword as well. So copy that. And we have the effects as well. It looks like a lot of the code was related to the shield. And then have the sword attack. So all those hashes are from the shields to shield projectile. I was gonna delete the stuff from the XQRs, but I'm not going to because it would help me to just copy and paste. Shield throwing reference. I don't think I have that in there. There you go. There's a lot of code in there. Yeah, we did have this state thing, which is not something I'm very excited about. Well, might be something that I have to deal with. Okay. I'm gonna keep working on this later. I'm gonna stop right here and trying to get back at streaming. And there's a lot of things that I still need to learn. I'll review my streams as well from now on and try to improve the quality. But basically, I'm working on my game. There are things that I want to develop, but I also want to get back to, like, it's been a while since I created any type of content for the channel, so I don't want to get too far behind. So maybe I can create some videos as well. But yeah, just try to balance time for all the activities that I have. But the project is still moving forward. Obviously, there's a lot of work to be done. But I'm very excited about the stuff that we have going on. So I'm gonna stop right here. I'd like to thank everybody that watched. It really does mean a lot to me. I'm a very small creator, and but that doesn't mean that the people that watch me and follow the content and like the stuff that I do is any less awesome than the others. So yeah, thank you guys. It does mean a lot to me for those who stick around to see my silly game coming together. Uh, it is looking good, I think, though. Like, I think we're getting there in terms of visuals. Like, I think we're definitely getting there now. Gotta fix the game though. I'll stream again this week, and I'll try to fix some details, and hopefully we can do a little bit more testing on the next stream as well. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks a lot, really, and until next time.